In the corridors of power, where family loyalty meets royal duty, an unexpected voice has risen in defense of the most disgraced member of the family. Princess Anne, the hardest-working royal. The no-nonsense daughter who never complained, never explained, never caused a scandal in 70 years. She's broken her silence about her brother Andrew. And her message to King Charles is clear: you've gone too far. This isn't about defending Andrew's actions. It's about something deeper. Something that strikes at the heart of what it means to be family when the world is watching. Behind closed palace doors, a battle is brewing. Brother against brother, sister caught in the middle, and a question that has no easy answer. Where does justice end and cruelty begin? This is the story of Princess Anne's intervention, the king who won't back down, and the fallen prince who has become the family's most divisive figure. To understand why Princess Anne's concerns matter, you need to understand who she is. Born August 15, 1950, the queen's only daughter, the spare to the spare, a woman who was never going to be queen, never going to be center stage, and she accepted that with grace and determination. While her brothers made headlines for the wrong reasons and quietly became the backbone of the monarchy. Over 500 engagements a year, year after year. No complaints, no drama, just work. She survived a kidnapping attempt in 1974 with legendary composure, telling her would-be abductor, not bloody likely. When he tried to force her from her car, she married twice. First to Mark Phillips, a commoner, with whom she had 2 children. That marriage ended in divorce. Then to Timothy Lawrence, a naval officer, in a quiet ceremony in Scotland. No fuss, no spectacle. Her children, Peter and Zara, weren't given royal titles. Anne's decision: she wanted them to have normal lives, as normal as possible for grandchildren of the Queen. She's known for being direct, sometimes blunt. She doesn't suffer fools. She doesn't play politics. She doesn't seek the spotlight. When she speaks, people listen, because she rarely speaks unless it matters. And now, she's speaking about Andrew. According to sources close to the royal family, Princess Anne has privately expressed concern to King Charles that his treatment of their younger brother has been too harsh. This is extraordinary. This isn't breaking ranks. This is family loyalty clashing with institutional necessity. But why would the Princess Royal, who values duty above all else, defend the brother who has brought such shame to the family? To understand Anne's position, we need to understand what Charles has done to Andrew. It started with the fall from grace, the Epstein scandal, the disastrous BBC interview, the allegations, the settlement. We all know the story. Charles, even before he became king, was reportedly pushing for Andrew's complete removal from royal life. Strip the titles, cut the funding, exile him from public view. When the Queen died in September 2022, Charles had the power to act. And he did. First, the eviction from Royal Lodge, the 30-room mansion Andrew had called home for 20 years. Charles wanted him out, offering the much smaller Frogmore Cottage instead. When Andrew refused, Charles cut his annual allowance, reportedly £1 million. Then came the security funding, millions of pounds a year for Andrew's protection gone. If Andrew wanted security, he'd have to pay for it himself. The message was clear: you're on your own. But Charles didn't stop there. Reports emerged of Andrew being effectively banished to a cottage at Sandringham, a home in exile, hidden away in the Norfolk countryside, far from the center of royal life. Andrew was to be invisible, irrelevant, erased from the story of the modern monarchy. It was swift. It was ruthless. It was, many observers noted, very unlike the way the royal family typically handles its problems. Traditionally, the royals protect their own, sometimes to a fault. They close ranks. They weather storms together. They may sideline someone, but they don't cut them off completely. Charles was doing something different. He was sending a message not just to Andrew, but to everyone. The new monarchy has no tolerance for scandal. The institution comes first, always. And Princess Anne watched all of this unfold with growing unease. According to insiders who have spoken to various royal authors and reporters, Princess Anne has privately voiced her worries about Charles's approach. She's not defending Andrew's actions. Let's be absolutely clear about that. She's reportedly as appalled as anyone by the allegations and the shame they've brought to the family. But she's questioning the punishment. He's still our brother, she's said to have told Charles. He's still family, and has watched Andrew lose everything: his titles, his home, his income, his dignity. She's watched him being publicly humiliated, financially squeezed, and socially isolated. And she's worried about what this is doing to him as a person. There are reports that Andrew has become depressed, withdrawn, that the constant pressure from Charles has taken a severe psychological toll, that he feels abandoned not just by the institution, but by his own family, and who has her own complicated relationship with Andrew, nevertheless remembers the boy he once was, the brave pilot who flew in the Falklands, the proud father of 2 daughters, the brother who, for all his faults, is still blood. She's concerned about proportionality. Yes, Andrew made catastrophic errors in judgment. Yes, his association with Epstein was indefensible. Yes, the interview was a disaster. But has he committed a crime? He was never charged with anything. He settled a civil suit, maintaining his innocence. In the eyes of the law, he's done nothing wrong. So why, and reportedly asks, is he being treated like a criminal by his own family? There's another dimension to Anne's concern. She's watching Charles make these decisions with what she sees as cold calculation, prioritizing the institution's image over family welfare. And she wonders, if the monarchy is willing to completely discard one of its own, what does that say about its values? What does that say about the family itself? To be fair to Charles, he's not acting out of cruelty. He's acting out of necessity, or so he believes. Charles has waited his entire life to be king. He's 75 years old. He watched his mother's reign, studied its successes and failures, and developed his own vision for what the monarchy should be. Streamlined, modern, accountable, focused only on working royals who contribute to the institution's mission. There's no room in that vision for Andrew. Charles has seen the polling data. The British public's support for the monarchy is declining, particularly among younger generations. Every scandal chips away at that support. From Charles's perspective, protecting Andrew would be protecting the very thing that's destroying public trust. It would send a message that royals are above accountability, that they can associate with convicted sex offenders and face no real consequences. Charles can't allow that. Not if the monarchy is to survive. He's also acutely aware of optics. How can he preach about a slimmed-down monarchy, about fiscal responsibility, about earning public trust, while his disgraced brother lives in a 30-room mansion funded by the crown? The eviction from Royal Lodge wasn't personal. It was symbolic. It was showing the public that Charles is willing to make tough decisions, even when it involves his own family. But there's another factor at play. Charles and Andrew have never been particularly close. Where and might see a troubled brother deserving of compassion, Charles sees a liability who's always taken advantage of his position. Andrew was the favored son, the Queen's favorite. He got away with behavior Charles never could. He lived extravagantly while Charles worked tirelessly. And now, when his scandals threaten everything Charles has worked for, he expects the family to protect him? This isn't just a disagreement between and in Charles. It's opened up divisions throughout the royal family. Beatrice and Eugenie, Andrew's daughters, are reportedly heartbroken by their uncle's treatment of their father. They see a man they love being cast aside, unable to fight back, unable to defend himself publicly. They're close to their cousins William and Harry, but this has created an awkward tension. William, as heir, largely supports his father's position. Harry, estranged from the family, probably takes a different view but isn't around to voice it. Sarah Ferguson, Andrew's ex-wife who still lives with him, has been steadfast in her support. She's publicly defended him, maintained their unconventional living arrangement, and stood by him when almost everyone else walked away. But even Fergie's loyalty has its limits. She's reportedly frustrated by Andrew's refusal to accept his new reality, his clinging to Royal Lodge, his resistance to downsizing. And then there are the palace staff, courtiers, advisors. Many of them sympathize with Charles's position. They've seen the damage Andrew has done. They know how hard it is to rebuild public trust. But some, particularly those who've worked with the family for decades, share Anne's concerns. They've watched Andrew go from prince to pariah, and they wonder if the punishment fits the crime. The division isn't just about Andrew. It's about competing visions of what the royal family should be. Should it be an institution first and a family second? Or should family loyalty remain paramount, even when it conflicts with public image and represents the old guard? Family stands together, no matter what. You protect your own because that's what families do. Charles represents the new order. The institution must survive, even if individuals must be sacrificed. Accountability matters more than loyalty. There's no easy answer. Both positions have merit. Both come from genuine conviction. But the tension is real, and it's growing. When news of Anne's concerns leaked to the press, the public reaction was fascinating and divided. Some praised her for showing compassion. Finally, someone in that family remembers what it means to be human, one commenter wrote. Andrew may have made mistakes, but he doesn't deserve to be completely destroyed. Others were less sympathetic. Are you kidding? After everything he's done, and thinks Charles is being too harsh? The man settled a lawsuit for £12 million. He should be grateful he has any support at all. Royal experts weighed in. Some suggested Anne's intervention might actually help Andrew, that a voice of moderation could lead to a compromise between complete exile and full restoration. Others argued that Charles is right to stand firm, that any softening of Andrew's punishment would be seen as weakness, as the royals protecting their own yet again. The deeper question resonates beyond this specific situation. What does a family owe to its members when those members have caused profound harm? Is unconditional love still unconditional when the person has made choices that damage everyone around them? Where's the line between supporting someone and enabling them? Between justice and vengeance? These aren't just royal questions. They're human questions that every family faces in one form or another. And right now, the most famous family in the world is grappling with them in full public view. Somewhere in the corridors of Windsor Castle, Princess and King Charles will have to face each other again. Brother and sister, monarch and subject. Two people who've devoted their entire lives to duty, now on opposite sides of a question that has no perfect answer. Will Anne's concerns lead to a softening of Andrew's exile? Will Charles grant some measure of mercy, perhaps allowing Andrew to keep Royal Lodge or restoring some financial